Hey, what's up, everybody? This time I'm going to rate every single Street Fighter character found in the 30th anniversary Street Fighter character gallery. I suppose there's only gonna be characters from the first one to Street Fighter 3, so no EX 4 or 5 characters, but who cares? Let's begin. Add-on. Add-on is pretty badass. I remember him from when I first played Alpha 1 on PC. His theme is bad ass to the max. They kind of, well, I don't want to say ruined, but they didn't quite catch his theme, what it was all about in Super Street Fighter 4. But still one of the better tracks from that game. I think he's the most striking thing in add-on is add-on, whatever. Is the hair. Like, how does it work? It's kind of like Guile's and Charlie's hair. It's weird and it's like flat from top. So I don't know. Maybe he uses the same hair gel as Guile does. I'm gonna give Aidon. Oh yeah, his moveset. His moveset is pretty much all kicks and elbow strikes. But they're quite acrobatic and they look pretty cool. And his voice is, like, if your back is turned and you hear Adon's voice behind you, you're gonna know it's Adon. I'm gonna give Adon 4 out of 5. Okay, Akuma aka Goki 5 out of 5. Super badass, evil karate dude who doesn't just give a shit, he just wants to be the strongest and maybe die when he's trying to make that prove that. Gameplay wise, he's pretty much like Ryu and Ken with air fireballs, and well, he can't really take damage, he dies pretty quick, but other than that, like, there's teleporting and stuff. A pro could probably tell the fine nuances, the subtle differences between the karate dudes, but to me, she's just a more badass Ryu at game. 5 out of 5. Alex. They kind of tried to replace Ryu as the hero with Alex, but didn't quite succeed. Alex's design is pretty cool. I like how his attitude is like, I don't care, I just wanna like fight. But gameplay wise, as I stated in the previous video, he has these karate chops and elbow strikes and couple of command grabs, throws, if you don't know what that means. But because of I never really played a lot of Street Fighter 3, Alex is a bit of a mystery for me. So his theme, Jazzy NYC, is pretty cool, and it doesn't look bad, and his moveset is okay, so I'll give him a solid 3 out of 5. Okay, Balrog, aka Mike Bison. There's something about Balrog that like he's so stupid. The only thing he does is lunges forward and punches people, but his theme song is dope AF, and it always gets you pumped up. And it's not like the theme doesn't give off the vibe that he's like super evil or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, he's a bad guy, but he's not evil, if you know what I mean. He just does everything for money. If I bet Balrog would save the world from a crisis if there was money to be made. And but gameplay wise, he's pretty simple. Even his supers are like, if his special move is lunge forward and punch, his super move is do that in like 4 times in a row, you know. I'll give Balrog a 4 because it's a classic and I like his theme song and stage in Street Fighter 2. Then there's Birdie. Birdie always was a pretty interesting fella. Obviously I didn't know he was in the first Street Fighter when I first saw him back in Street Fighter Alpha 1. But it's so weird. If you look, if you look, his design is just like a British punk, but then he has this Texan style belt buckle and these gangster rings and whatnot. He's pretty all over the place, but I like his hair. Once again, the hair is the most striking thing, and the fact that his sideburns and mustache like fused together. But he's pretty cool. I think his theme, even though in Street Fighter Alpha it's pretty like simple, but still really catchy, and you could just listen to it like 30 minutes and not notice that 30 minutes was gone. His moveset is almost like Balrog's, but instead of punching, he hits you with his body and head, and then he uses those chains around his wrists to throw you, pummel you around. But I'll give him a 3 as well. You know, nothing too special, but nothing like too bad either. The hair is dope though. Oh yeah, best Boy Blanca. I think this artwork is actually from the EX series. I'm not sure, but it's definitely not from any of the Street Fighter 2s or Alpha 3. I'm pretty sure this is from like EX2. Anyways, Blanca, I just, you know, like, I cannot not love Blanca. He's a green dude with an orange hairdo and orange hair, and he electrifies people. What's not to like, right? And his team is, you know, like, gets you in the right mood. Not too serious, but not too lighthearted either. 5 out of 5. Apparently electricity is a fighting style nowadays. Cammy, I don't actually like Alpha Cammy's look. It's just pretty dull compared to her like army version of this look from Turbo and Street Fighter 4 onwards. I like the little tie though, but and those gloves are weird. I don't. What is that red circle? Is it a landmine? I don't know. Anyways, I don't like playing as her. I like the cannon spike and cannon drill moves. and the Frankenstein is pretty cool, and Spin Drive Smashers, and especially in Street Fighter 4, I think it's named Gyro Drive Smasher in that one though. But it looks cool in Street Fighter 4. Her theme, oh, it's okay, nothing bad about it. But her stage doesn't make any sense. It's like supposed to be in Great Britain. It's this weird old castle. Well, I bet there's all weird old castles in Great Britain, but I'm not sure if you can really see Nordic lights in Great Britain, so minus points for that. Street Fighter 2, the classic Cammy, 4 out of 5. This weird, boring robot Cammy from Alpha, 2 out of 5. Charlie, aka Nash, he's cool. He's just a cool guy. He's like Guile, but a bit cooler. His theme is awesome. If you ever heard electric guitar version of Charlie's theme done by this long-haired Korean dude with this weird B-stripe guitar, you're in for a treat. If you haven't heard that one, go check it out. But his moves are kind of like Guile's basically. He has the Sonic Boom and Somersault. And well, in Street Fighter 5 he has some more moves, but he looks pretty silly in that one. But judging from the alpha version alone, 5 out of 5. Chun-Li, the first fighting lady. Just have to give her a 5 out of 5, just based on the fact that she's the first playable woman in fighting games. She's quick, she has cool looking kung fu moves, and she's pretty funny also, if you know the Gomenne taunt. Also, it's one of her winning victory poses. And Kikosho is a pretty cool looking super move. It's just kind of a fireball that surrounds her with this blue energy. And in 2D games, you can see it makes like wind blow her face, so you can see how the whatever it was called in her hair, like blow through the wind. And I actually also like her alpha design, the tracksuit, and I like her theme from alpha a bit better than in Street Fighter. Although I have to say, Spinning Bird from the EX series is the best Chun-Li theme you'll ever hear. Go check that out. 5 out of 5. Cody obviously is originally from Final Fight. In Final Fight he wears white t-shirt and jeans and sneakers. Pretty original, right? But when he came back in Alpha 3, they gave him this stereotypical prison outfit with stripes and handcuffs. I think it's pretty cool. I actually never played Cody because I never really played Alpha 3 that much, but I did play him a bit in Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4. And I liked how they implemented his origins from a beat 'em up game. to Street Fighter. He has a knife he can pick up, and he gets some like more power to his punches from that. And then he has these wrenches and pipes, and he throws rocks from the ground, and that counts as a projectile. It's pretty funny. The only thing I don't like is his super like bored attitude towards everything. He's like supposed to be real strong, but no one gives him a challenge. Not too fond of that. Don't know about his Alpha 3 team, but like Street Fighter 4 team is pretty basic. I'll give Cody 3 out of 5. Oh, by the way, I'm not reading these all these info sections because it would take too much time. You can read those basic gist, basic information about these dudes and dudettes when I shut up. Oh yeah, 3 out of 5. Dan Hibiki, the original goofball jokester character from fighting games. You could say that Dan is just another dude in karate uniform throwing fireballs, which isn't untrue, but he just has so much fun doing his weak versions of the classic Street Fighter karate moves. His fireball is a joke. His dragon punch goes almost straight up, and his hurricane kick is just a weird 3-part Bruce Lee flying kick. And he has an infinite amount of taunts in the Alpha series when other characters do not. And if you didn't know, Dan is kind of playing on a joke for SNK, which was Capcom's biggest rival in the fighting game business back in the mid-90s. So it's basically just 2 guys from the other fighting series. It's Robert Garcia's head put on a pink karate uniform from Ryo Sakazaki. But that's the brilliance of it. He's just a cheap knockoff of cheap knockoffs. Of course, all of these characters have like evolved beyond what they were originally. But Dan is just an awesome character, and if you can play as him, props to you, man. And I think he's actually not even low tier in Street Fighter 4. I'm not sure, but I like to think he isn't. 5 out of 5. Oh yeah, and his team is pretty funny as well. Max out DJ. I think he's the only Street Fighter character designed by Capcom USA. But DJ is pretty funny. Originally he was supposed to be like a sprite clone of Fei Long, one of his new challengers from Super Street Fighter 2. But then Capcom decided not to do that for some reason. But I don't know. DJ is pretty fun to play as. He has this sonic boom projectile, and but instead he calls it flash or max out, depending on which game you're playing. And then he has this blurry punch attack and these Bruce Lee cross kicks going upward and this scissor kick launching forward kind of thing. But design-wise, he's just a guy with sweatpants. That's his maximum, and he always has this weird, almost scary grin on his face. I think they want him to look like happy all the time, but when he's smiling when he gets the shit kicked out of him, it's just not natural, man. And his team is okay, it's pretty like catchy, but I don't think it really suits him, if you know what I mean. I don't want to be mean or anything, but I give DJ a 2 out of 5. Yoga Dalsim. I hate this to be honest. He can like hit you from the other side of the screen and slide through your fireballs and teleport and all that crazy shit. And he wears those skulls. That's creepy. And I never like. He's just weird. From the weird factor alone, I'll give him a 3. I don't really, like, can't say anything about Dalsim because he's just there. I never like liked him or hated him. Really hated him. His elephants in the original Street Fighter 2 are annoying as fuck. Though, and I do like his design in Street Fighter 5 with the beard and the turban, and he's got some pretty cool alternative outfits in Street Fighter 4. But yeah, all in all, 3 out of 5. Let's fight like gentlemen. Dudley is, I think he's the best character from the Street Fighter 3 series, design-wise and move-wise. I do like his theme from Third Strike as well, You Blow My Mind, I think it's called. Dudley is just like the exact opposite of Balrog. He knows how to box, he's a gentleman, he always takes other people's feelings in consider when he fights. He kicks punches their ass, and then he offers them tea and first aid, I suppose. And his moves are like so precise, and the animation in Third Strike is just, I can't talk about Dudley enough. I can't praise him enough. I can't praise his animation enough. All in all, 5 out of 5. One of my favorite Street Fighter characters of all time. Dosoi! E Honda is well, he's Street Fighter, alright. Look at that, like, he's pretty ripped for sumo. But if you took away his kabuki face paint, he'd just be another sumo dude. But I do like his weird, like, gravity-defying flying headbutt moves. And he sounds pretty funny if you play Capcom vs SNK 2. He has a funny voice, and his theme is okay. Actually, Street Fighter 4 really like pumped up his original theme song. It's pretty cool, and his ending in Street Fighter 2 is pretty funny. He just stuffs his face with Janko stew and noodles, and just he's just like happy to be there with his students. I think it's pretty like heartwarming ending. But all in all, it's just like not as exciting as some other Street Fighter dudes. But he's a classic. But without the face paint, like nobody would remember him. At least not how he looks like. 2 out of 5. Elena from Street Fighter III. I like the fact that she uses capoeira. Capoeira is like in motion. It's just a beautiful martial arts to look at. I've actually practiced capoeira for a while, but I'm too heavy for that kind of stuff, so it's way too acrobatic for me. But it's pretty cool. But I think the point in Elena was more like the animations and her movesets, and just to show off the graphics in Street Fighter 3 rather than her design, which is pretty simple. I don't really get the white hair, but I want to rate her higher, but I never really did like gave her too much thought, to be honest. And her theme song is pretty annoying, to be honest. But and her personality is just let's be friends, let's be friends, let's be friends. Yeah. She even wants to be friends, judging from her Street Fighter 4 ending, at least, like with Akuma, who's just this weird murderer troll. So kind of like with E Honda, I forgot to mention that earlier. E Honda's the only personality for him is just he wants to promote sumo wrestling, and Elena's the same, but she wants to make friends with everyone, which isn't bad, but like it can be annoying if you met this girl in the street and you're like, okay, let's fight, and she just constantly like said that she wants to be your friend. I wouldn't want to be her friend. Just that's annoying. Leave me alone, But I'm rambling now. So 3 out of 5, just because her animation is so awesome. Evil Ryu. This artwork is from Capcom vs. SNK 2, not from Street Fighter Alpha series. Evil Ryu is just like pissed off Ryu. Nothing really, like he has some cool sounding voice lines in CVS2, but like I never really liked that whole evil version of someone trope found in fighting games. It's just like, I get it, it's an easy way to make another character quickly, but I think it's just lazy. Why not make a like totally different character then? But I don't know. 2 out of 5, 2.5, just from the artwork and voice lines in Capcom vs. SNK 2. Fei Long, obviously he's a tribute to Bruce Lee, so that gives him a few points. His theme song is pretty cool. His Street Fighter 2 stage doesn't make much sense though, with those dragons and peacocks and whatnot, but pretty like good take on Bruce Lee. He's got your 1-inch punches and flying kicks and whatnot, and you know, like it's a good tribute for Bruce Lee. 4 out of 5 because he doesn't have the scars, and nobody can be as good as Bruce Lee, you know. Again, he might as well could be flipping the bird in the picture, but again, it's pretty cool. In Alpha series, I didn't like him in Street Fighter 4 because he had this weird, what do you call them, a hair bun or whatever. It really didn't suit him, I think. But again, it's pretty cool. I think he's the only Street Fighter character that can switch stances. He's got the crane and the mantis, praying mantis. And he's pretty cool. I think his storyline is that he's dying, so he wants to, you know, like find the final great battle to the death, literally to the death, with someone. But he sees everyone else to be like too weak or some bullshit like that. And he finally found the opponent in Akuma, but Akuma was like, "No way, dude, you're dying, so I'm gonna get the fuck out of here," and left again, coughing blood. But and his theme and stage in Alpha 2 are one of the best, I think. It's just so awesome, and they actually brought Gen's stage back in a way in Street Fighter 4, this dark back alley. It's pretty cool. And but yeah, I don't really know how to play again. I think the crane style's got some charge moves, and the praying mantis has got this E-Honda's 100 hand slap move and this weird upwards going multiple kick thing. But I'll give Gen 3.5. You know, it's pretty cool, but his Street Fighter 4 version gives him some minus points, to me at least. 5 out of 5 USA. You know, Guile's like to me there can't be a Street Fighter game with Ryu without Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li and Guile. And well, I can't say that was one of the reasons I disliked Street Fighter 3, because there was no Guile. But you know, it certainly didn't help the game. Guile is just, you know, like, yep, everyday American badass. I don't really know if anyone in America looks like Guile, but they might as well look, you know. And his theme is awesome. It pumps me up every single time. And he's got some cool, even though I like his classic look, he's got some cool alternative outfits in Street Fighter 4, and his Street Fighter 5 redesign works. You know, it evolves the character for me. And yeah, you can never go wrong with a couple of shit kabooms. You know, 5 out of 5. Guile for president. Guy is also from the first Final Fight, but he wasn't, as I said before, he wasn't at least in the European versions of the game, so I had no idea who this guy was when I played Alpha for the first time. But I think that, well, for a ninja, the orange is pretty bright, but I think if ninjas existed today, they definitely wear, you know, like those Air Jordan sneaker shoes. And I don't know, his playstyle is, you know, like pretty unorthodox for a ninja in a way that he doesn't have teleports or shurikens or kunais, but he runs and hops all over the fucking place. And he's got kind of like this tatsu, but it goes upwards. And one thing I remember from my childhood was the CPU guy always did the tatsu 3 times in a row: weak, medium, and hard. And when he did the hard one, then was the time to, you know, like strike. Good times. And his theme is pretty cool as well. I'd give guy 3.5. Beshiga. You know, where do I even start? It's basically Andre the Giant with a pink tank top. I hate Hugo, he's so stupid. And there's nothing worse than like a Hugo running towards you with an like EX run where he absorbs the hits and then he just breaks your shit. I don't know, it's kind of cool how he's paired up with Poison all the time. I like the dynamic between the two, but I never really caught on that he was a bad guy in the Final Fight series, sure, but after that, did he continue being evil? Or are they just after like easy money? I never quite understood that. But yeah, I don't like him. He's just too silly, even for Street Fighter. 2 out of 5. Okay. Ibuki. Ken-san. Ibuki's pretty cool. I first saw her actually in Pocket Fighter, aka Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix, I think it's called in the US. And I thought she was a boy, but then I got educated and I learned that there's actually a third Street Fighter in existence, and she's actually in fact a girl. Ibuki's pretty cool, as I said. Her main color scheme is pretty dull. I don't think the beige is working for her, but at least it's different. I do like her in like that top knot ponytail thing and those few hairs coming under the bandana. And her raccoon is pretty cute. And I enjoy her playstyle. I like I don't know the names of the moves, but I like the move, the command grab, where she slides under you and then she climbs on top of you and kind of like twists your neck, you know? It's pretty dope. And I think they made her look pretty cute actually in Street Fighter 4. What I don't like about her in Street Fighter 5 though is I don't really get how she's a servant for Karin, but Street Fighter 5 is weird, you know, like to begin with, so I don't know. I'll give Ibuki 3.5. Not bad. Okay, I have no idea about this girl. She's just a cami with like sleeves and pants design wise. I have no idea how she plays. I just know that she looks pretty stupid. 1 out of 5. Oh, how do you know? She has a clone. Well, I did know that she has a clone. I guess she's a cute, but fortunately for you guys, I'm not a waifu lover, so 1 out of 5. Karen, oh, I hate her. I hate her guts. Are those supposed to be hair? Like those weird tube things? And what's with the shorts under the skirt? Man, I don't know. Well, I just said that I'm not a waifu lover, but come on. Does anyone do that? Wear shorts, like biking shorts, under like a mini skirt? I don't think so. And yeah, I really don't know about her fighting style. I think she has some counters and some weird kung fu, like tai chi, leap punch. I don't know. I'd actually rather play with her like butler or whatever, the big burly dude from her intros. Hell, I'd rather play with her helicopter, to be honest. 0.5 out of 5. Oh, I hate her. Awful. Yeah, boy! Ken is awesome. 5 out of 5. I just, like, when I first played Street Fighter 2 as a kid, I picked Ken because he looked like He-Man, and I was super into He-Man as a kid. And I don't know, something just like, I think I learned kind of to play Street Fighter with him. I learned how to throw fireballs, do shoryukens, do tatsus with Ken. And in Street Fighter Alpha and Alpha 2, they revamped his design, made him look even cooler, and I just, like, he's the shit. In Street Fighter 4 and to lesser extent Street Fighter 3, I kind of like fell off from the hype train of that is Ken Masters, but he's always gonna be my number one dude. He's got an awesome like theme song. I like his attitude. He wants to be the number one, but like not at all costs. He has a wife and a kid, and like he's all in all, he's just a like cool guy. If I could, I'd rate him like 10 out of 5, but that'd be an overkill. 5 out of 5. Ken for president, I like Makoto. Her design is pretty plain and simple, and to an untrained eye, you could think that she's just another Shoto, like karate guy throwing fireballs, but her fighting style is nothing like those original Street Fighter karate guys. I think she might be one of the like most difficult characters to learn. I mean, she's got this dashing karate punch, which is pretty basic. You can charge it, I think, and like you don't have to like launch forward immediately. But then she has this weird, like this weird choke and slamming the ground with a karate chop, and I think one of her sweeps is actually a weird anti-air. kick. I never remember when I try to sweep someone that she actually like stands up and tries to kick at the guy's face. But damn, she's just so like, there's something about her I can't quite really put my finger on it. And her team is pretty cool. 4 out of 5. Can't say why, I just like her. Sha Bison. 4 out of 5. One of the best like villain characters in gaming history. Period. He's just an asshole, you know. Also, he's always smiling. I think he and DJ might be long lost brothers or something like that. But something went wrong and Bison turned out evil. Aren't all secret brothers, cousins evil? But I mean, well, not counting Alpha Bison, who's a cheap son of a bitch, but in Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 4 and Capcom vs. SNK 2, he was one of those rare occasions when, you know, a boss character wasn't super overpowered. He had these basic moves. Well, of course, he read your inputs like everyone else. Every CPU character did, but he didn't have these super moves that fill the screen with weird laser balls and fucking thunderbolts and whatnot. He was pretty fair, to be honest. His stage in Street Fighter 2 makes no sense. His team isn't, you know, like threatening enough to me to be the last boss's team, but I like him anyways. And they actually made him, you know, like evolved him, as I said previously, evolved him like with Guile in Street Fighter 5. They made him even more of an asshole. With this overconfident, like arm crossed pose to be his like default fighting stance, as you can see in this picture as well. Yeah, 4 out of 5, pretty cool. Then Necro is one of the reasons I didn't like Street Fighter 3. He's just weird, even in Street Fighter standards. It's like a weird pale imitation of Dhalsim mixed with a little Blanca. I do like his fighting stance and the animations and his theme song in Third Strike, but design wise just isn't my thing, you know. 2 out of 5. Another Street Fighter 3 character. Everyone must hate me when I say that I just, you know, like I just don't feel most of the Street Fighter 3 cast. An old yellow little man fighting with just one hand. And with charge moves, no less. Nothing about this dude makes any sense. And he shares the stage in Third Strike with Sean. I mean, I don't want to give him a 1. He's not that bad. But I'm not willing to give him a 3 either. He looks like yellow bastard from Sin City. 2 out of 5. They ripped this dude from Ken's stage in Street Fighter 2. You can see him cheering on the boat, you know. Q has a cool theme song. I think He doesn't have a stage of his own. Pretty basic design, but like it fits Street Fighter to me. Like with just a like tiny twist, this weird metal metal face. He's kind of like Balrog, but even more sloppier with his punches. And he's just like threatening. I mean, I think one of his intros is like people running away from him. And nobody knows what he wants, what his motivations are, and I wish they'd like do more with him, did more with him, like open up his like what he is, where he's from, and whatnot. Pretty solid all in all. I'd say like 3.5, 4. He could be a 4 if they give him like a bit more story and personality. Hey, that's the punk who stole my sweet moves. Remy, he looks more like a King of Fighters character than Street Fighter, but if you've played Remy, you know that he's just a like Guile / Charlie with like minor tweaks. He has a low sonic boom, and then he has this weird like upwards forward jumping kick special. I don't know. He's again, I've played way too little Street Fighter 3 to actually know about her. I mean, he is, well, I don't know, I'm open-minded, it could be a her. To know about Remy's motivations, well, I do know that he hates his dad, and like his girlfriend or sister is frozen solid in a block of ice in the bottom of the ocean. Weird, I know. But judging just from I like the Guile move list, and he looks pretty cool, so I'll give him a 3 out of 5. Don't really remember his theme song, but I think his stage is some sort of weird rave thing, so that's pretty cool as well. Rainbow! It's Baby Spice from Spice Girls. Well, to begin with, I think it's cool to see female wrestlers in fighting games. We have way too few of those. And kinda like her design, but having said that, it's also pretty weird. When I first saw pictures of her, I thought she was Cammy because of the, like those showing your ass cheeks and whatnot, blonde hair. But I don't know like enough of her to give anything like anything fair. So I'll just give her like 2 out of 5. She has a flying butt attack, so can't be that bad, right? Rolento is pretty good. I always liked this picture of him from Alpha 2. It just shows that he's taking this soldier thing super seriously. He's also from Final Fight. He was one of the boss characters, and I think once again in the European version he was cut. So once again I had no idea who this dude was when I saw him in Alpha 2, but I did like playing as him. He uses that baton stick and grenades, and like he jumps all over the place as Guy does, and his team is pretty cool. But as with Hugo, I'm not sure if Rolento is supposed to be evil or like a good guy. I mean, he doesn't look like a good guy, and he wants to build his own utopia or whatever, like a army stage, military nation. And that sounds like dictatorship basically to me, but I don't know. I'll give Rolento a solid 3. Rose is pretty cool. She's kind of like the like good female Bison storyline wise. Like something about Bison getting rid of the good part of his soul, and the soul latched on a newborn baby or something stupid like that. But she's pretty cool. I like her design. It's like kinda, if you ever played Capcom's Darkstalkers, she could fit there as well, but it's not too much for Street Fighter, you know. And I like how she uses the scarf in her moveset. I think she uses it like in some normals and in the Soul Reflect special move. And in Street Fighter 4 she also uses the scarf in her Ultra. I like her theme song as well. It suits her, and her Alpha 2 stage is top notch. It's awesome. I really like that stage. The only thing I kind of don't like about her, well, I don't really like how she plays. I don't know how to use her effectively, and her personality is pretty lame. She's always like, good fortune shines upon you. I'm over exaggerating, but you know, something along those lines. And also the weird guy Rose subplot, never understood what that was all about. Are they like dating or what? Who knows? I give Rose a 4 out of 5. Pretty cool. 5 out of 5. Ryu's a cool cat, but I can't, you know, like, there's nothing to say about Ryu that hasn't been said already. He's just a perfect main character for a series, I think. He's I think he's not like overpowered story-wise. He's always strives to better himself. He like wants to be nice to everyone, and I think he doesn't like, you know, like violence, even though he does like martial arts, so that's pretty weird. But I don't think he practices martial arts to kick people's asses. I think he practices martial arts to discipline himself, his mind and whatnot, you know? Kinda like in all martial arts. Never learn martial arts to so you could be the strongest, so you could kick everyone's asses. If you're learning martial arts with those motivations, your motivations are in the wrong and you should be ashamed of yourself. First rule of martial arts is we learn these things in order to not use these things. Anyways, talking about Ryu, his theme is awesome. His Rising Dragoon from Street Fighter EX series is one of the best fighting game soundtracks I've ever heard. Go check that out from YouTube. And man, I wish I could be more like Ryu. just like I know I sound like kind of like a fanboy or something like that, but I think we can all learn something from him. And also I love the fact that he's in Smash 4, one of the best characters in that game as well. 5 out of 5. Sagat, my old enemy. I hate his low tiger shots. Let's begin with that. But other than that, Sagat's he's a badass. He was pretty weird in Street Fighter 2. He's especially in Turbo. His character portrait didn't match his sprite at all. In the portrait he was like this buff dude with a chiseled jaw, and the game itself he was just tall, lanky, skinny dude who shouted "Tiger! Tiger! Uppercut! Tiger!" Nee. But in Alpha Boy they took him on another level. They made him like big, buff tower of a dude who could just like grab you by your head and smash it like a coconut. Badass. And they made him look pretty cool in Street Fighter 4 as well. His theme song never really did fit him, I think. But I like how they constantly made him fight in front of the big ass Buddha statue in Thailand. I think he's one of the only characters that stays in the same place. That's pretty cool. And also the Ryu vs Sagat stage from Street Fighter Alpha 2 is dope as fuck. One of the like cool looking, even though it's simple, one of the cool looking stages in fighting game history. Right there. And I hope, I'm curious to see what they do with him in Street Fighter 5. I do hope that they get rid of his low tiger shots though. I'm not gonna cry if they get rid of that move. 4 out of 5. Okay, Sakura. First of all, her English voice both in Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 suck ass. It's horrible. If you play with English voice cast with Sakura, you can burn in hell. Well, that's rough. Anyways, you're a bad person and you should be ashamed of yourself. Sakura's pretty cool, I guess. She's one of the first in like semi-joke characters in a sense that she's like a remix from like one of them older characters, in this case Ryu and Ken. She has the fireball and the dragon punch and the tatsu, but they all have like, because her take on it, on the fighting style itself, they have a different what's the word? Proportions? No, whatever. Like they work differently. Let's say it like that. Depending on the game, the fireballs can like travel faster or travel shorter, or in case of Capcom vs SNK 2, it's just a weird energy spike. And the Dragon Punch, she takes a few steps and then launches upwards, and the Tatsu is like, if normal Tatsu goes like this, Sakura's goes like this, like kind of slightly upward. And her theme is pretty sweet. We can hear a remix of it in the game right here. And again, her Street Fighter Alpha stage is pretty cool. We can see her kid brother playing Super Nintendo or whatever, and then throwing the controller down whenever his sister loses. pretty cool. I think Sakura also started that schoolgirl trope in fighting games. And unlike Karin Kansuki, she's not wearing biking shorts under her miniskirt. I don't want to sound like questionable, but as I said, it just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it does. If you're a woman, you can educate me on that matter. 5 out of 5, Sakura's pretty cool. Sean, another classic Street Fighter karate dude with a tweaked move list. First of all, he doesn't have a fireball. His Dragon Punch have different properties. That's the word I was looking for previously, properties. Instead of with one hand, he does it with two, I think. And sometimes he throws a punch, like after that. And his Tatsu also pretty weird. But I think Sean is like a prime example of that they can take the classic Ryuken character model and make something new with it. And I think Sean is much cooler than his sister Laura from Street Fighter V, and much more Street Fighter-like than her as well. I like his theme song as well, and I like his attitude. They try to make him a joke, but I don't think it works. And I mean, he's just not joke material to me. He looks too serious, if you know what I'm trying to say here. And even though they treat him like a joke, he never gets it, you know, like to get it under his skin, you know. He's kind of like Ryu. He's striving to get better and be a better version of himself, and to be a better person, and to be better in martial arts. And it like points from that, you know. Sean is a cool dude. I give him 4 out of 5. Even though I can't play shit as him. And I heard that in Third Strike they made him actually worse than in Second Impact, which sounds pretty weird. If they ever bring him in Street Fighter V, I hope they'll make him like a real character and not a joke. Then let's see. 2 more rows. I just now noticed that there's no Street Fighter 1 characters either. Well, I mean, besides Ryu, Sagat, Adam, Ken, and well, there's no Street Fighter 1 characters that didn't appear after Street Fighter. Did I say that right? Forget it. Let's go on. Sodom. Him I actually did recognize when I played Alpha for the first time. I did notice that this is the guy from Final Fight, the second boss. And I was kind of like afraid of him because I never beat his ass in Final Fight. But then I learned that he's just a big pushover, and I kick his ass in Alpha and Alpha 2. But Sodom is also pretty silly. He's just this super otaku guy who really loves Japan, but he's American, and but that doesn't bother him at all, and he just keeps on going. I think Sodom is pretty cool. He has this cool truck. We can see it in Street Fighter Alpha 2 in his stage. And if I'm not mistaken, we can see it also in Street Fighter Cross Tekken and later in Ultra Street Fighter 4 in that weird truck stage. his theme is dope, and I like his weapon of choice. It's not, you know, like, it's pretty uncommon. I think the word is jitte. I don't know how to pronounce it. Let me check. Yeah, it's jitte. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. But usually, you know, like, samurai kind of characters use like katanas, or like in Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, sais. But this dude, nope. This weird tuning fork, right? But yeah, I wish they brought Sodom back, because he's one of the only alpha characters that hasn't like come back in later Street Fighters. Like Sodom for Street Fighter V, hashtag Sodom for Street Fighter V, right? Pretty cool. 4 out of 4. Hawk. T-Hawk's pretty silly, to be honest. I kinda like him. I like his theme song. But his personality is pretty non-existent. His moveset doesn't make much sense. I like his throw, you know, where he jumps off and fucking spins the dude and smashes his head on the ground. But I do have a pretty dope T-Hawk figure in my collection. And I like his belt, I suppose. He's got a cool belt. But pretty boring. 2 out of 5. Nothing much to say here. 12. What is this thing supposed to be like? The 1 out of 5. I don't want to talk about 12. Also, let me just check quickly. There's no gill. That's weird. Is there? Maybe there's a secret code or something. I don't know. Gil is the final boss from Street Fighter 3, in case you didn't know. Urien. Greek statue come to life. Only the baddest of dudes can fight in a thong. So points there. And I like his voice in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Aegis Reflector! Ah ha ha ha! Kill! Get ready to die! I'm pretty sure I just butchered his voice, but who cares? Pretty cool. His theme has a funny name, Chili Dog, I think. No sense, but hey. And he has a pretty cool fighting style. I like Aegis Reflector. As a move, I mean, it just like hits the. You can like throw the reflector behind the dude, and just like every time the opponent touches the reflector, he takes damage. So you can just like kind of like Pong, you know, hit them with your fist, and then he hits the reflector behind him. Anyways, obviously I haven't played him too much to sound like I knew something about him, but he looks pretty cool in Street Fighter V. He finally learned how to use clothes, you know, how to wear clothes. But as I said, if you're as bad as him, you don't need no clothes. 4 out of 5, pretty cool. And yeah, Gil is basically overpowered version of Urien. Urien? Yowie! I actually like brown hair Vega better than blonde hair Vega. Vega is pretty neat. Also,
he's supposed to be a ninja, and Vega is like, you've never seen a ninja like Vega before, and nor will you see. Pretty cool. I always thought it was pretty annoying how he could like latch on the wall in Street Fighter 2, because I was a stupid kid and I couldn't cope with the fact he always just jumped on me and killed me. But yeah, Vega, he's like annoying in a good way. That he's a villain you love to hate, I think. And he's so narcissistic and only thinks of himself and thinks that ugly people need to be killed, but also beautiful people need to be killed, because there can't be a more beautiful person than he is. I don't know. But yeah, I like him. I played him quite a bit in Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter EX. But I tried him in 5, but they changed him a bit too much for my liking. I do like his new dreads though. And they gave him pretty cool outfits, at least, like mask designs in Street Fighter 4. And his theme fits him perfectly. Also Matador from the EX series, his theme is also pretty cool. I'll give Vega 4 out of 5. Okay, I'm gonna like throw Yun and Yang. I'm gonna give them a shared point because they're so similar to me. They've got like different special moves and whatnot, but they're basically the same guy. You could say that about Ryu and Ken, but this is my video, so I do whatever the hell I want. I kind of like Yun a bit more because he's got a cap, and I like caps. But we can't really, like, they've got this. Yun's got a bit more cheery personality. Yang is a bit more serious than his brother, but I guess you could say they're like Chinese versions of Ryu and Ken, not bootleg versions, but they're like studied under the same master and got like pretty similar moves and whatnot. I wish they would, as with other characters, they could develop them a bit more. I'll give both Yun and Yang 3 out of 5. Also, I don't really get the James Bond kind of theme song they have. Doesn't make really much sense to me. I am Retu Cyclone Harasho. Zangief. Man, that face is so funny. Just look at him. Annoying as hell to fight against. But I always wanted that they'd bring Hagar from Final Fight into Street Fighter game as a playable character, so Zangief would finally have a worthy rival, It's just, why haven't they done that? It's just like waiting to happen. But Zangief's, like, I like his like core design, and his special moves suit him. And I like the story. I read somewhere that he learned the spinning pile driver when he was in the wilderness throwing bears like potato sacks, and just when he was kind of pile drive, normal pile drive, mind you. Big ass bear. A tornado came and picked them both up, and then Zangief would like spin around in the tornado, holding the bear all the time, and then just crash land, and the bear died or whatever, and then Zangief was like, "This is a great move! Harasho!" You know, basic Street Fighter stuff, but I've always thought that was pretty funny. And he's a pretty funny guy in general, always talking about his muscles and how muscles are the greatest thing in the world, and how you should use muscle power to overcome your difficulties in life. 5 out of 5. Great dude. But yeah, there's no Gil. Gil is like a Goldilocks version, half blue, half red version of Urien, with the resurrection move. Annoying as hell, pretty stupid, but at the same time, pretty dope. I wish I had a picture to show you, but let's see if I can find a picture of him. That's Alex, Ibuki, Oro, Ken, Necro, Dudley, Ryu, Alex, Ibuki, Elena, Oro. I think there's Gil. Yeah, that's Gil with his clothes on, and in black and white. Let's see if there's a colored version anywhere. I wish they'd had like a thumbnail, like you could just pick it instead of going through all of them. Who the hell is that guy? Man, look at him. Just such a cool ass dude. But where's... I mean, look at... Does he look like a joke to you in this picture? He does not. He looks like a serious karate guy. Man, like, they screwed Sean over. These stage designs are pretty dope, but we're not here to look at them. Isn't there any picture of Gil at all, like a colored version? That's weird if they don't. Well, anyways, I'll give Gil... look, it's Sean Reno from The Professional. What was I... There's Gil. Well, Necro's hand is on front of him, but you can basically see what the gist is in Gil. Like, I'll give Gil a 4 out of 5 just because the concept is so stupid that it's actually pretty cool. Then there's no Street Fighter 1 characters in that list, and there's no... Isn't there any pictures of the Street Fighter 1 characters? Let's see. Okay, here we go. There's Ryu and King. Okay, Mike, Proto Balrog, 1 out of 5. Well, that's supposed to be Birdie, but that's pretty funny. In Street Fighter Alpha 3, because they made him recount him as a black dude in the Alpha series, and in Street Fighter Alpha 3 they actually tell us why why he looked like this in Street Fighter 1. Because apparently he was sick. That's why he looked pale. But yeah, Proto Birdie looks pretty stupid, to be honest. Geki, Proto Vega. It's your everyday ninja with shurikens and teleports. 1 out of 5. The Street Fighter V redesign looks pretty cool. He has a like ninja sword and this flux of hair coming under his bandana, kind of like Ibuki's. So old Geki, 1 out of 5. New Geki, 2.5, because I like ninjas. Lee, pretty basic kung fu dude. I think they could like bring him back. And actually in Street Fighter V, they released these like biopics from every single character in Street Fighter history. They made Lee use Zuiguan, aka Drunken Kung Fu. That would be pretty cool. So I'll give a Street Fighter 1 Lee 1.5 out of 5, because I like old kung fu movies and kung fu movies in general. But the potential Drunken Kung Fu Lee, I'll give 4 out of 5. I want to see that, you know? That's Adon. Pretty stupid, right? That's again, apparently he didn't know how to cut his nails back in the day. I'm glad he learned that. Eagle. Even in Street Fighter 1, Eagle looks pretty cool. But Eagle, they actually brought Eagle back in Capcom vs SNK 2, and then later in a portable version of Alpha 3. And he is badass. I wish they bring him back. I mean, he's basically Dudley with Eskrima sticks. And there's nothing wrong with Dudley, so there's nothing wrong with Eagle. And he looks kind of like Freddie Mercury as blonde. 4 out of 5 to every version of Eagle. Joe, shirtless dude with red pants. 1 out of 5. Retsu. This guy also, I think, has a lot of potential if they like brought him back. He's pretty basic, but there's something like expressive. You know, he's got expressive eyes and face. He's kind of silently like judging you. And I think they could give him a like pretty solid like strike, hard hitting, like a Kempo or Kung Fu style, kind of like you like. Sorry, kind of if you've ever played Virtua Fighter, you know Akira. He's got this Bajiguan, like hard hitting Kung Fu style. So I think they could like do something like that with Retsu. So once again, like Street Fighter 1 Retsu, 2 out of 5, but potentially like 3 to 4. Let's say 3 out of 5. And his remixed version theme song of his theme song is pretty cool as well. Well, Sagat. Oh, Sagat looks just like normal Sagat without his chest scar, you know. Well, oh yeah, these are like high quality versions. Ryu's got some sauna slippers on. But these are pretty cool. These are like alpha tier. Man, these are pretty cool. Oh my god. Damn. Dude, these are awesome. Funny thing, you can make a character look more badass than they actually are with your like the artwork, you know. I'm ready to raise Geki's points just for like this particular piece of art. These are dope, man. Look at him. He looks so much better than in that other one. Man. Oh man, look at his face. Come on, egghead, where are you? That's one smug son of a bitch. Him as well. That's cool. All in all, not counting Street Fighter 1, most of the Street Fighter 1 cast, and a couple of others, Street Fighters got some pretty good and awesome character designs. So I hope you liked that, and I hope you don't hate me for not liking Street Fighter 3. Peace.